Hi everybody, welcome back to my Feed the Beast Let's Play, and I have something a little different for you today. This episode has a single goal, and look at this guy, this is so weird. This is actually a myrtle ebony sapling, but for some reason it shows up as an oak sapling when he's holding it. And this guy is not moving a muscle until he gets that sapling up there. He is just determined to get it. There you go, man. Now he's going to pick up all those. So the reason I was cutting down this tree, and what we're going to be doing today, is I need the ebony wood for a building I'd like to make. I spent a little bit of time in creative mode and figured out what I want to do for my bee building. And it's going to be kind of big. We were talking about putting it up in the sky. I decided against that, and instead we'll put it down in the ground over here. I've been clearing out some of the space. Basically, I want to take down this little volcano here. So there's actually two volcanoes right here in my front yard. There's a little one in front. I've already taken a few lava source blocks out of there, but that's the center of it. And then this big, amazing one over here. I want to leave this one because it's awesome, but this little one can go. It's just sort of making a mess in my yard. And I want to build the bee building sort of like right here under where I'm standing. So we need to take down this this structure. And yeah, basically we're going to spend the episode on that, going through all the steps of it, and see how that goes. I'm not going to show you my creative world, so we'll see the finished product once we actually build it here in this world. Just going to sleep so we have daylight. So somebody in the last episode went through my world download and looked for dark spots to try to solve my cave noises. I really appreciate that. And yeah, it gave me a big list of coordinates. I went to all those spots and checked them. Problem is they were spaces where mobs can spawn, but cave noises actually, they require a light level of 0 to play. So even just a 1 by 1 by 1 space with a light level of 0 will cause those sounds. Those are the kinds of spaces I'm looking for. And you know, it's always kind of an awkward thing when somebody does something really nice for you like that. Like, I really appreciate it, but it's just not quite the thing you needed. It feels kind of bad to even tell them about it. So yeah, sorry about that, but it's not. What I'm actually looking for is the really dark spots that might not have mobs spawning in them. So, yeah, as much as I appreciate what you did, it unfortunately doesn't quite solve my problem. Just a moment ago, I realized I'd actually buried a couple of cactuses in the ground. Cactuses is actually a correct plural. Cactus, cacti, and cactuses are all plural of cactus. Interestingly enough, I just cacti sounds weird, so I usually say cactus or cactuses. I buried a couple of them in the ground here just to well, there went that dirt block. Just to satisfy any deserty bees that wanted them. And I had forgotten to put some torches down there, but I fixed both of those spots, and I'm still getting the noises, so those at least are not the only ones. I also checked my implosion compressor, which does have a dark spot in the middle of it, and I opened that up and put some light in it. You know, it doesn't function that way, but still was getting the noises there. So yeah, I'm continuing to be baffled by that. But anyway, that's not what we're going to be talking about now. So let's start clearing out this volcano, and we'll be doing that using the Wand of Equal Trade and mushrooms. Instead of flowers, because flowers, you know, they actually plant on grass and will stay there, but mushrooms want to pop off if they're exposed to the sky. So let's set this to red mushroom. I farmed a bunch of these before we started, and yeah, we can just clear out the land the same way we were doing with the endstone. I was trying to get a good enchant on this. I was hoping for repair. I got Frugal 3. This was a level 30, so hopefully that if the math works the same as Unbreaking, this should last about 4 times as long as a regular Wand of Equal Trade. And if not, I have another one away there. And if we go through both of those, then we can just make some more. But anyway, let's do some mushroom mining here. Oh, what? Oh, I'm out of mushrooms. Okay, I need more of those. So let's actually get some more. Oh, and you can make floating mushrooms with this, which is pretty awesome. Or floating flowers. I don't think these are stable. Like, that one's going to pop off in a little bit. Let's let's leave both of those there and walk away a little bit and get some more mushrooms and see if they've popped off by the time we come back. But yeah, for now, I actually have some bone meal on me, so I can do this right now. I have another basalt cobblestone barrel in there. Hopefully we'll find a good thing to do with it. I'm not actually using any in this build, but maybe we'll use a whole bunch for the nether portal room once we get to that. I don't know how big I want to make that. Like, I could make a whole place full of portals, or like, okay, so what I do with these mushrooms is, you know, you can plant them on, yeah, I didn't finish what I was saying there, but whatever. You can plant them on mycelium in broad daylight, but you can't plant them on grass unless you put a roof over them. So, like, I can't put it here. Still can't put it there. But if I do this, that's dark enough to actually place a mushroom in the middle. But, you know, I'd have to build one of these up high to have enough space to grow, and it looks kind of ugly, so it's easier to just do it on mycelium. The problem with mycelium is that it dies when there's a mushroom block on top of it, but I can sort of get around that by bone mealing it and then really quickly breaking the bottom block. So unless I'm really unlucky and the mycelium decides to update in that very short period of time, then it's fine. I can keep the mycelium and keep doing this. So we'll just do that a couple of times. Oh, almost forgot there. And you know, if I lose my mycelium, I can get more easily enough with a moistener or with silk touch and just spreading it from there. So anyway, I have some stuff I might want to talk about here that would take a little while. So maybe we'll just make this sort of building and story time episode. So let's see. Let me just check my notes and make sure there's nothing else I want to talk about before we get into the main thing. It's kind of unfortunate that the axe of the stream doesn't work on mushrooms in the same way it does with the trees, because it'd be nice if I could just chop it down from the stalk down there. But anyway, let me take a look at my notes one moment. All right, so there wasn't much of anything else I needed to address. Just one thing I wanted to show here and actually check on for myself is we have Stark bees. I'm still working on getting the supernatural breed out of them, but supernatural seems to be weak and Stark is strong, which is handy because I think stark is strong in German. Anyway, so I'm just breeding these together and hoping supernatural will go away and we can get pure Stark. So Stark, I believe, produces for us dull propolis, which is, of course, centrifuged for dull shards. You know, it's a low chance, so 13% for that. And I don't know how often they actually produce that. Okay, so comes from a Stark comb, so 15% propolis from Stark comb, then 13% dull shard from it. So however often they produce a Stark comb, you multiply that by 0.15, then multiply that by 0.13 to get the amount of dull shards out. So it's not going to be like crazy huge production unless I get a whole bunch of them going at once. But anyway, just have to get it purified first. And what am I doing here? Right. I don't have a good way to farm experience, so I'm working on exotic first. Oh, hey, Edenic. Well, there we go. Okay, we have Edenic. That was easy. Of course, it's a secondary trait, so it's going to be hard to get that purified. But, yeah, working on Edenic so that I can have bees giving me experience. Because right now, my main source of it, like I wanted to do a level 30 enchant on this wand, and what I did for that was I went to the end and killed a bunch of endermen in there. And, you know, I kind of stack up on ender pearls doing that. Like, I need more experience than I need ender pearls in terms of the numbers of things I get out of that. So, that's kind of inconvenient. But, yeah, first world problems, right? Way too many ender pearls. So, yeah, I just want Edenic bees, or, well, anything with the explorer effect on it to be able to get me experience like that. So we'll get there eventually. I'll just put these back in. And there's a little bit more preparation we need to go through for... I'll just leave this here like this. We won't miss that. A little bit more preparation we need to go through before we can get to the actual building. I mean, we still have to take down that volcano. But before that, let's go ahead and... Let's see, how do I have this set up? I think I have my thermionic fabricator up there already. We need to make a bunch of stained glass. Crescent hammer is on me. Okay. We need a bunch of stained glass, and it needs to be yellow and black, unsurprisingly. How much ink do I have? That's, how much black do I need? Let me just count in my head. We need to start with at least 36, okay? So we'll start with 36. The way I've designed this building is sort of modular. Like, it's kind of tileable in a way, so we'll be expanding it as we go on. We'll start with 36. And in terms of yellow stained glass, I think we need twice that much. So let's take 36 flowers, which will turn into twice that much dye. And that means we're going to need 134? I don't know, a bunch of propolis. Let's just take 3 stacks. And that'll get us started. 1, 2, 3. And I think I have my thermionic fabricator already up here. How is our power situation? It's fine. We got plenty of power. So we turn on the thermionic fabricator like this by flipping that, because you don't want that running all the time. Quiet brains. So propolis goes in... how do I make stained glass again? Hang on, I need a lot of glass. No, wait. No, I need a wax cast for this, don't I? I forgot how to make stained glass. Let's try. Now, there's 2 types of stained glass, actually. I think this one's from Mine Factory Reloaded. But I looked at that in Creative, and I don't like it as much as the forestry stained glass. So, okay, we need dye and propolis, and also liquid glass, and a wax cast. Okay, so let's get a bunch of beeswax, because we're going to need wax casts. And you'll see just how crazy it is to actually make stained glass here. So we need a lot of glass, too. Do I have that much glass? If I did, it would be in here. No, I don't. Let's smelt up a bit more. Let's make 4 stacks. That'll do. And those should be ready by the time we're ready for them, I think. So we'll put these in here. And we need to make... Let's start with, like... just a few wax casts, like 4. Isn't it like that? How do I make wax cast? Oh, it's 8. Okay. Like this. Okay, so wax cast goes in here. Propolis goes here. Oh, that is hot. Okay. So there's some glass. Here is some yellow dye. And give me all of your stained glass. So there goes a wax cast. There goes another. Which is good. This is a use for beeswax, because beeswax is one of the things I end up getting a lot more of than I actually usually need. But for making stained glass, you go through it real quick. So, I think, yeah, I have the appropriate amount of dye for this. Wait, oh, I ran out of glass. Wow. That went quick. Okay, so more of this, more of this. And the black, and we're out of glass. Give me some. Oh, I have a lot in here already. Cool. All right, and let's try not to overshoot too much here. In fact, let's just make sure the amount of glass is equal to the... No, wait, I need less because that holds... Yeah. Okay, more wax casts. I know this is not the most exciting video, but we'll get to the interesting part of this in a bit. Let's see. So what else do we need? We have our ebony wood. Oh, I guess I need one more. Wait, where did that... Huh? That was weird. What's going on here? Do I really have... Yeah, I have it. Okay. Anyway, I guess that's all we need for the moment. So yeah, this should do us on stained glass. We have our stained glass. We need snow. Yeah, I incorporated snow into the build. Let's put... I'm just gonna... Well, no, that can stay there. All right, so that's a good use for our Iceman's backpack, which is here. And a whole lot of stone shovels. Let's start with 4 and see how far that gets us. Now, let's see, I'm not exactly sure how much snow I need, but... Okay, since this part's going to be super dull, I moved my snow golem back into position here so I can continue farming snow. So since this is going to be super dull, I'm just going to sit here doing this for a while. I'll be back once I have the snow blocks I need. Nope, that's not going to do it. I'm going to make like 8 more shovels and do this some more. There's that noise again. See, it really sounds like it's coming from straight below here, but I've dug down so many times and looked for the one dark spot. It's just... oh, man. I'm just going to... I think what I'll probably have to do is just make a copy of this world, go into creative mode, and just, like, destroy everything layer by layer until I find the one dark spot, because it is... I don't know. I don't know what else to do. Anyway, back to snow farming. That's probably enough. Okay, so we'll make do with that for now, at least, and we're just going to clear out this mountain. So, the thing I wanted to talk about was game development. So, as I've mentioned before, I am a game developer, and let me just start with some background of what kind of things I've done, and, you know, just talk about it in general. So, oh, hey, are our floating mushrooms still there? Yes, they are. So maybe those are stable. We can make floating mushrooms with this. Yeah, to do that, you can just do something like this. So put that there, take this out, and then if I just left-click, yep, floating mushroom. Awesome. So yeah, game development. I've been fascinated by games since I was, well, pretty much for as long as I can remember. You know, my family got an NES when I was like 3 years old, something like that. And, you know, I played that at any opportunity I got. And, you know, we had computers a little later, or a little earlier, I guess, that had games on them. You know, anyway, people like games. You probably never would have guessed I like games since I'm doing a Minecraft LP, but so it's... My whole family was kind of into computers quite a lot when I was younger, and I was very lucky in that sense. I got a lot of sort of crucial early exposure to them and a lot of opportunities to learn about you know, all the inner workings of them. So I've been programming since I was really young. Like I would say I was doing it, you know, something you could call programming more than just like print hello, since I was about 6. So it's, you know, it's sort of been a lifelong passion for me. But it wasn't until I was actually 18 before I wrote a game and actually released one, you know, like that I could call finished. So it took me a while to really get familiar with all the things I needed for that. I need more mushrooms, really. This is, I'm running out. Let me farm a few more. Because I don't want to go harvest all these up. We'll clean this up later after we have the space cleared out. But this is actually, you know, that's actually getting close to the amount of space we need to get started here. But yeah, I'll just farm up a few more mushrooms so I don't have to be collecting those up so much. Oh, and let's empty our basalt. And I don't need the snow yet, so we'll just put away that backpack. Right, so yeah, when I was 19, yeah, some age or another, right, when I was 18 I learned C. You know, I'd done a, wait, why do I have this many mushrooms? Anyway, I guess I picked those all up off the ground since I ran out, but let's just get some more. Yeah, I'd used a lot of different programming languages, so I sort of started in... I guess the very start was BASIC on the Apple II. A little later, you know, that wasn't really serious. Once I actually got into it and felt like I was doing non-trivial things, it was in HyperCard on the Macintosh. And, you know, HyperCard was a great environment. It was simple enough for kids to learn. There's this thick reference manual that I have fond memories of reading over and over. Had all sorts of good stuff in it and just told you all the ins and outs of working with HyperTalk, which is its scripting language. So I had a lot of fun with that. Made some pretty ambitious projects in it. You know, generally didn't finish them. Because, yeah, like I said, it wasn't until I was 19 that I actually released a game to the public and felt like it was finished. So, you know, I started working pretty early. I was actually 15 when I got my first real job. I was an audio engineer at Rosetta Stone. And a year or two later, I ended up actually doing programming for them because they sort of caught wind that I knew something about it. So that was kind of how I got into that professionally. And yeah, it's a thing where you learn a lot. The more time you spend doing it, the more you learn about it. So learned a lot from my colleagues at Rosetta Stone, learned a lot on my own, learned a lot on the internet. Anyway, so when I was 19, I found this contest online. It was called UDEV Games. Was for it. So I was using a Mac at the time. I'm not really an Apple person these days. I'm playing this on Windows. But back then I was. My whole family had used Apple computers for as long as I could remember. And that was cool. That was what I knew. So I thought, okay, great. Here's an opportunity to do something cool with other people online and learn a little bit more about it. So I entered this UDEV Games contest. Basically what it was a 3-month long, kind of like a game jam, but I don't know, they call it a contest. It still runs, though not as consistently as it used to. But yeah, basically you get 3 months to write a game. There's no theme or anything, so just do it however you want. There's a bunch of prizes at the end, and just a lot of good energy around it. I spent a lot of time on IRC, or I guess it was AOL at that time, or Instant Messenger, that is, not AOL proper. That'd be crazy. Just talking to the other developers, meeting them. They are now very good friends of mine. We've all stayed in touch. Well, not all, but most of us have stayed in touch over the next. Wow, I guess it's been more than 10 years since I came there. So, yeah, I'm getting old. But anyway, so I learned a lot from that experience. You gain a huge amount of crucial perspective from releasing your first game. It's weird that it seems like what I'm doing here wouldn't take much concentration, but it's actually kind of hard to talk and do this at the same time because I'm trying to choose my words carefully, and I didn't rehearse this story beforehand or anything, so I'm just figuring out where I want to go with it as I go along. This is definitely enough space. Let's start taking down this dirt because I need a flat surface here. Well, let's take down this little bit here too. So let's see, where was I? Right, I got a huge amount of perspective from releasing my first game, made some friends that are still my friends today, and just sort of got into the larger game development community then. So yeah, for UDEV Games, that's basically that 3-month project. It was a platform game called Water Tower. It was 2D. It was written in C using Quick Draw on the Mac, which is kind of crazy. It was an old API then, and it's way beyond deprecated now. You can't even use it anymore. But it did the job at the time. So that was a good project. I'm still actually proud of that game. I was very happy with how it turned out. I'm kind of sort of working on a sequel, but it's moving slowly. Well, actually, I did a sequel, but it wasn't. I tried to do a straight conversion of the game to 3D, and it just did not work at all. It came out terribly. That was for the UDEV Games contest the following year. And I didn't win anything the first year and did even worse the second year just because the game ended up being kind of terrible. But I learned from that. You learn as much from failures as you do from successes. Both are very important. So anyway, getting a little bit more to what I wanted to talk about. So Water Tower was free. The UDEV Games contest requires that at the very least the contest version of your game be freely available. I forget exactly what the rules are or were. They change over time. But anyway, so that one just sort of went up on my website for free. And let's see, my website, how did that come about? I'm trying to remember if I started it before or after Water Tower. I think it was before. There was an old game for the Mac that I played a lot called Glider Pro, and I was the host of the website that had the largest archive of... you could make these custom level files for it called houses. Yeah, my website hosted the largest known archive online of house files for Glider Pro. So I think that's sort of how I got started. And then I started putting my own games on there, and it kind of just turned into a different thing after a while. Still have the Glider Pro stuff hosted, and gets a fair number of downloads. So I just want to keep it for sort of historical significance, but the main aim of my website right now is for actually hosting my own projects. So anyway, the sort of dream here would be to be able to not have to have a separate day job and be able to completely support myself doing game development in my own time. Now, in order to do that, I of course have to be selling some of my stuff for money, and that is where I kind of run into the conflict, because I just want to make cool stuff, and it'd be nice if I could somehow get money as a side effect of that, but I do not want to deal with the business side of things at all. Business just does not appeal to me. It feels dirty to ask for money for things that I've done. I don't know, and there's just such a fine... Hello! I just found a dark spot. That did not have a block in it. But it was... I wouldn't be able to hear noises there. But you see, so Endermen can do that. Like, if they're standing here, they can decide to grab this block, even though there's one here. So what I'm hearing might be Enderman damage under the ground, but I've checked under there so many times and not found anything. Anyway, so right, if I wanted to make a living, I obviously have to sell my stuff. Let's skip ahead a few years from after Water Tower. I had left my job at Rosetta Stone. I'd been to GDC a few times just because I like the conference. You know, it's a really great place to go and meet other game developers. But you know, I'm paying for it out of my pocket from the money I get from my normal day job, which has been programming at various different companies over the years. So I'm not really self-sufficient on that. I'm not writing games and making money from them and being able to pay for myself to go to conferences with that money. So yeah, that's sort of the dream. I want to be able to do that and be sufficient. But right, so I left my job at Rosetta Stone at one point. I won't get into the whole situation there, but I left the company on pretty good terms with them. So I ended up being unemployed for around a year after that. And I had enough money saved up in the bank to be able to stay afloat for a while. The original plan I had going into that unemployment was to try to get a job in the game industry proper at GDC, because I actually turned in my resignation the day before I left for GDC that year. You know, I was coming back and doing more work for them before I left for good. But that was when I actually let them know about it and put in my, well, it was 3 weeks notice because I was going to be out for 2 weeks after that. I should make a better shovel or something here. Let's make it out of some of these green sapphires. That'll speed things up a bit. Let's make 2 of them. So yeah, I just left my job and figured, okay, I probably need another one. I have no levels. I wanted to enchant one of those, but I guess I'll just go with unenchanted. And yeah, I thought, okay, cool. So this is my opportunity to try to get into the game industry and get going that way. But they have a thing at GDC on Friday. It's called the Career Seminar. So basically, it's a whole... I feel like this is sort of playing too loudly over what I'm saying. So the Career Seminar is a day of sessions about getting hired in the game industry, what it takes, you know, how to make your resume stand out, all that sort of stuff. And after spending a day there, I was pretty convinced that I really did not want to work in the game industry proper as it stood. Oh man, this is just going to take forever to clear this hill. I feel like I should do something different here, like use a quarry or a filler, but well, let's just keep going. Maybe it won't take as long as I think it will. And in fact, let's cut this down to the level we want it at. Let's put this... I should have measured in creative mode. Well, basically, let's just cut straight over from here to start and just make this flat. Okay. So where were we? Right, so don't really want to work in the game industry based on what I heard there. Just doesn't sound like that great a place. And, you know, there's this indie scene. So independent game developers are a very different thing from the game industry proper, as you... Oh, Monoset. Cool. The game industry proper, as you think of it, like, you know, Nintendo, Sony, whoever. So that was sort of the community I ended up identifying with much more, and because IDEV Games was kind of in that same category, so we those would be classified as independent game developers for the most part. So that was the world I wanted to get into. It's much more personal and sort of artistic, so you don't think about working for a corporation. You do things for yourself, and yeah, basically like what I was talking about. You make cool things and find a way to get money as a result of that. So the finding a way to get money as a result of it was the problem for me. So like I was saying, I was unemployed for almost a year and kind of spent that year trying to figure out what I had to do to get an actual business started for this. And what I found out was that I do not have a mind for business at all. It's just not something I like to think about, not something I really can think about effectively. It doesn't make sense to my brain to optimize what I'm doing for getting money out of it. Just thinking about any kind of, you know, asking for money, charging for the art I produce just feels really uncomfortable. So maybe what I need is a business partner, somebody who can deal with that for me so I don't have to think about it and I can just do the programming and game design stuff. But I don't know, we'll figure that out as time goes on. But anyway, I money in my bank account ran out basically, and I got a pretty decent job offer, so I took that, and that kept me afloat for a while. And yeah, don't need to tell the rest of that, but basically left that job at some point, was unemployed for a bit more, got another job, and that's where I still am. So what I'm doing now is I'm a freelance programmer, a contract programmer for an orthodontics company, which is definitely not quite the line of work I would normally be going for, but it's interesting enough. Keeps me busy, keeps me fed. So the thing is, though, it keeps me a little bit too busy because I can't, even though I'm actually technically part-time, it's not a 40-hour-a-week thing. It's a 25-hour-a-week sort of thing. I still can't quite find the time in the day or energy and motivation to really work hard on becoming self-sufficient. It's such a tough thing. You almost have to just go all in, all at a time, and say, okay, I'm quitting my job now. My money's going to run out in 6 months unless I make something cool and sell it. So let's put everything we have into it and actually do that. So maybe that's what ultimately I'm going to need to do. But I guess I'm kind of at a stalemate right now where I need a job to have money to eat and stuff and not lose my house. But that job keeps me too busy to really work toward getting to be independent of it. So, let's see, where was I going with that? I sort of had a point here. I don't know what it was, but yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. I'd really love to be a self-sufficient independent game developer, but I don't quite have the resources right at the moment to do that. I have the skills. I know what it takes to write a game. I've done it many times, but they've all been freeware, and I do not have the skills to market a game or to sell it, to do all that stuff. That's just, it's necessary, but it's just so unpleasant for someone whose mind works like mine that I just really, really don't want to deal with it. So what I probably need to do is just make a commitment to actually find a proper business partner, make a post on the forums and one of the online communities I'm part of, and see if I can find someone who's willing to work with me and could help me out with the areas of skill that I lack, that I would need to make this work. And it's good for them too, because the two of us team up. We both we make some awesome products, we make some money together, and both stick with our areas of comfort and not have to, because doing everything by myself is not really reasonable. Some people are able to make it work. it's surprising sometimes. Like, big corporations are really incredibly inefficient in a lot of ways. Like, indies produce games that are of a quality in most of the important ways that equals or rivals that of big game studios in a lot of cases. There are, of course, things that studios with a whole lot of money and, you know, huge teams of people behind them could do, like the artwork in particular is one thing that big companies are going to be able to just put so many more resources into. And an indie game isn't going to look the same as a AAA game. But in terms of gameplay, you know, no amount of people is going to make the number of people you have working on something isn't going to really affect your gameplay all that much. One person working alone can make a game that's just as much fun as, you know, 20 game designers working together. In fact, what happened there? In fact, they're likely to make a better game in a lot of ways because it's going to be more personal and more cohesive, because it's just one person really who really believes in their project just going at it all the time, rather than, you know, a committee of people who have to compromise to work with what everybody else in the group wants. So in a lot of ways, it's just sort of a thing where you get a clearer artistic vision if you don't have too many cooks in the kitchen. So that's kind of what I like about the idea of working alone here. It's just I can't work completely alone. I need someone else to fill in the areas that I lack. And, you know, I could try to learn to do all the business stuff that I need but don't want to, but it's just going to be so unpleasant. I don't think I'll be able to stay motivated to really learn to do it. But anyway, this has been a bit long and rambling, and doesn't really have that much of a point at the end of it. But yeah, just sharing a slice of my life here, so you know who I am, what I want to do, my hopes and dreams. As I spend a probably very boring video just digging out a hill. So since that story's pretty much wrapped up, let me just finish this off camera, and then we'll get to actually building the B building. And I'm actually running out of time for this episode, but I think we can cut out a little bit, and yeah, I'll start cutting here, and finish this, and we'll try and get at least the basics of the building up. So I'm going to flatten this out, and then I'll see you when I have my building materials on me. Alright, I'm back, and I think I have what I'm going to need on me. And we will be needing some of these lamps. You'll see why in a moment. Oh, I forgot something. We need candles. Okay, so to make a candle... now, I don't know how to get this candle stump. I don't know if these, like, burn out after a while and leave the stump. It doesn't have a recipe, but anyway, you can do it in a carpenter with beeswax and string. 48 of them will do fine, so let's just get a little bit of beeswax and string and get that going while we start our building. This carpenter is fine. 2, and however many. That should be done by the time I get back there, actually. So I realize there's actually a little more to that story that I'd like to tell. So you might be wondering, if I know all this stuff about game development, and that's what I want to be doing, then why am I spending so much time on YouTube producing these LPs? And the reason for that is just because... oh, you need frames. Let's see. You want proven frames, ideally. You also want proven frames. Do I have 6 of those? I think I have exactly 6. Yes, okay. So the reason for that is because I had done a couple of videos. You know, I started playing Minecraft. I was enjoying it a lot. I watched the... Ooh, is this wide enough? I need 21 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. So that's going to be off center. Let's... which way do we want to nudge it if we do? That wall's closer. Okay. So yeah, I started playing Minecraft a while ago, just at the recommendation of some of my friends online, and you know, really got into it quite a bit. Watched a bunch of the Minecraft guys on YouTube, and saw the kind of stuff that they were doing. Thought, hey, that's pretty cool. I wonder if I could do anything like this. So I put up a couple of oh, well, only need to break a few more glass blocks. Put up a couple of videos that were just I did a tutorial on a zombie pigman farm. Oh man, right, I wouldn't have any inventory space, would I? I'm just gonna dump some stuff into this chest for now. Yeah. And you know, it took me a little while before I actually tried to do an LP. I was very amused by Good and BOO doing some of the super hostile maps I watched them do, and thought, okay, well, why don't I try recording myself doing one of those and see what happens? So I'm very picky about the quality of anything I put out. So I bought a fairly expensive microphone. Well, it's not that expensive, you know. It's actually, what did this cost me? It was either $100 or $200. It wasn't terrible, but the quality is great, so I'm pretty happy with the purchase. Okay, instead of, let's see, let me just count diagonally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is that right? Okay, we'll make this the center for now. Yeah, I bought myself a nice microphone so that I would actually sound good in the recording, and yeah, just sort of got down to it. I didn't do any advertising at all for my YouTube channel. Just sort of let people discover it on their own time, and I've already messed this up. Let's see, we want to take out these two. Yeah, well, we'll be expanding this later, but just for now, I think that's the right number. Oh man. No, now I'm confusing myself. All right, well, let's just fill this in a little bit, and we can extend it or shorten it as necessary. So yeah, didn't do any advertising for my channel. You know, at first my videos were getting like 4 views per video, if that. But it just sort of slowly built up over time. More and more people found me through YouTube search, and that was good. I saw the Minecraft server started playing Feed the Beast, and I thought, okay, well, I know a little bit about modded Minecraft now. I'd like to give this a try, and I had so much fun with that I thought, well, what if I did an LP of that? Would people like to see it? And yeah, that just that ended up getting to be a fair bit more popular. So you know, I'm up to, what is it, like 350 subscribers now? So that's nice. So people just have liked to see what I'm doing, and that's very satisfying. You know, it's so I've been programming for so long that it's not really a challenge for me anymore. Like I've reached a level of proficiency where, you know, if you ask me if I can do something, the answer is just basically yes. It might take a little bit of research, but yes, I can program that. You know, it's a thing that I can do. Just go diagonally here, so we need to branch off a bit. So, you know, it's still interesting in a lot of ways, but since it's not a challenge, I've been kind of focusing on a lot of other things that are not programming, and you know, I'd like to, in the interest of being self-sufficient and writing my own games and stuff, I'd like to be able to do all the art and music and, you know, story and everything that goes into a game, ideally. So I started working on those skills a little bit, but those take just so much time to learn to do. I didn't get enough satisfaction out of them early on for me to really stick with them as much as I needed to reach a level of proficiency where I would start getting satisfied by them. So for me, putting out videos on YouTube is sort of a relatively low investment way to, I say low investment, but relatively low time investment per video way to make something that I can be proud of. Because when I put out a video, and you know, people in the comments say nice things about it, or press the like button, or whatever, it makes me feel good. It's just like, yeah, I did something that people like to see, and that's just it's satisfying in a lot of ways. You know, you get a much bigger boost of that from these chickens. Going to be a problem. They might. Okay, those chickens might need to move. Oh, pretend these are alveoli blocks. That's what they will be replaced with. Oh, and I'm out of them already. Okay, so let's just do the first layer of alveolis. So yeah, that you get a much bigger I guess, ego boost sort of from that sort of thing if you're writing a game, because it's an artistic creation you've poured your heart and soul into for over a very long period of time. Yeah, so however long you think it takes to write a game, it's longer. And that doesn't change after you've done it and gained perspective on just how long it takes. No matter how long you think it takes, it's always longer. That's Hofstadter's law in software development. However long you think it takes, it will be longer, even when you take Hofstadter's law into account. So there's no way to... It can't be overstated how much time and effort it takes that really go into these things. So it's really great. Like, if you want to get a little bit more perspective on this sort of thing, I'd recommend watching Indie Game, the movie. It is a fantastic documentary that sort of speaks to, exactly who I identify with, who I want to be, and tells you all about the life of an independent game developer, how it really goes. It's the story of just what goes on when you're pouring your entire heart and soul into a game, and everything's riding on it. Did I do this right? Yeah, this is right. Okay. I don't know how many outs I need to go here, but I'll just stop there, I guess. So yeah, I guess it is kind of cheaping out a little bit to be just making videos now, because it feels like a less what do you call it? It's not really. It's not exactly a less skilled pursuit than writing games. It's more. I want that to be grass. Let's leave this endstone off for the moment so it can grow. It's just it's much lower effort on my part than it would be to actually write a game and get the big boost of satisfaction when it's done, it's awesome, people are playing it, they're liking it, and that's an amazing feeling. But yeah, I get sort of a miniature boost of the same type from, well, there's no grass over here, that can't grow, from producing a YouTube video that people enjoy watching. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I suspect someday in the future I'm going to have to say, all right, I've spent too much time on YouTube. If I really want to follow my dreams... How did you get out? Stupid cows. If I really want to follow my dreams, then we'll have to put this on hold or do significantly less and really focus on actually writing games. So, that's something that's probably coming someday. Just so you know, I probably won't be doing this, at least at the level that I'm doing it now, forever. So, yeah, so that's what that is. So I'd just like to get this building together a little bit more before we call it an episode. It's already getting long, but I think I can at least do enough of this to give you an idea of what I'm going for. So this is how we're incorporating endstone into it. I think it looks best like this. Oh, I've done this wrong. Let's see, what's wrong here? What's wrong is I need another row right there. And this needs to go one higher. Okay. So yeah, don't know where I'll be going with that. So sort of a slightly dirty idea occurred to me, dirty business-wise, not like sexual or anything, about my YouTube subscribers. So if I were to shift to sort of a sleazy marketer mindset, man, I got this perfect without even trying. I just sort of guessed, eyeballed it, how many out I needed to come. This lined up perfectly. So yeah, putting on a kind of sleazy marketer hat, it's nice to have as many subscribers as I have, because potentially I could use you guys as a platform for, you're an audience who's interested in listening to the things I have to say, at the very least about Minecraft. I don't know if you'd want to hear about other projects I'm working on, but my viewers are people who would be, if I talked about a project I was working on in a video, they'd I say they, like I'm talking to you guys now. You guys would hear it if you watch my video. So it's almost like I have I've bent your ears, I guess. So if I wanted to use that to my advantage to to market a game project to you, like I could potentially do that. But you know, I hate the things that I'm saying right now. It just feels so disgusting to even think like that. Because I don't want to abuse your trust at all. Like this is the whole thing that makes me uncomfortable about business. Because you kind of have to think like that, at least to some extent, if you want to survive, if you want to make enough money to actually make a living off of it. And I just hate that. I want to find, you know, an ethical way to do it, a way that doesn't feel. Oh, dang it! Let's see if they fixed it so you can silk touch that now. Yeah, but a way to do that doesn't make me feel horrible, like I'm abusing the trust of my friends and just spamming them with stuff. So yeah, like I said, although I could maybe potentially do that, I really don't want to, unless I can find a way to do it that doesn't feel dirty and exploitative. But yeah, that's just wanted to mention that. Right, full disclosure, that has crossed my mind, but I hate the idea in so many ways. I don't intend to do that if I can possibly avoid it. But you know, if you guys are genuinely interested in what I'm working on, then I'm happy to share that with you. Like, I don't want to swing too far in the other direction and say, no, I will never talk about my own projects here. But yeah, that's stuff that's been on my mind. So now we get into the snow for this. This is starting to come together. I want to get at least sort of this cross in here. I'm kind of doing a lot of plus sign shaped thing. Oh yeah, let's get a silk touch pick to see if we can pick that back up. Doing a lot of plus sign shaped things, like my building here, each floor in it is sort of a... Thought I heard something sneaking up on me. Sort of a plus sign shape. So I figured I'd continue the theme over here with the B building. And yeah, all right, so we need silk touch here. And I don't think you can pick these up. If not, I'll just have to make another one of them. I did turn off my thermionic fabricator, didn't I? I think I reversed that thing, but yeah, let's see. No, dang it. Why can't you pick those up? Fix it, Singear. All right, so ceiling goes on like this. Let's see if I can remember how this goes. Okay, so these are going to be alvearies. Above each alveary will be sort of a skylight made out of black stained glass, so that I don't have to inoculate every bee I put in here with cave dwelling serum. And it looks kind of good. Well, can't really see it that well against the night sky, but give me a better way to get up here. Hi, zombie. You gonna jump down at me? You sure are. I forgot what I was saying. Right, so I don't have to hit every bee that I put up here with a cave dwelling serum. They'll be able to see the sky. You know, I didn't actually test that stained glass counts as a block that bees can see through, but surely it does. All those floating mushrooms. I'm going to have to take those down. Yeah, so this just goes like this. Yeah, those will be alvearies. They'll stick up this much plus a half block here. And I'll probably put my piping down below under them. So if there's any like frame housings in here, I'll pipe frames into them from below and actually get the bees out and move the products around. So this will have a basement to it. And you know, this intersection right here only really supports 4 alvearies the way it's designed. And I do want to have a space for apiaries because I use those for breeding. I don't actually breed bees in alvearies. Alvearies are just exclusively for production. At least the way I use them. You know, you can use the mutator blocks to get a guaranteed mutation sometime. Although those are actually getting a nerf in the next version of forestry, where if you try to use too many, if you try to mutate your bees too quickly all at once, it has some negative effects. I think it's a chance of turning your bee into your princess into a swarmer princess, which would be a very bad thing, because then she'll die off within some number of generations. Although the number of generations that swarmer princesses last is getting a significant buff. I mean, we haven't even actually tried that in this world. I just traded the one that I got to a villager, and the other swarm hive in there I'm just leaving because it's funny. It's going to stay as an ornament in my house. So the way I'm tiling these lamps does not ensure that there are no dark spots down below. So these are largely ornamental. Let's see, the next one goes here. Yeah, here. So that's what the candles are for. We're going to be using the candles for lighting down below. And you know what? This is way too long. So let me actually finish the ceiling up. I think you can sort of see what we're going for, and I'll show you the finished product as far as I can get with the materials I have on hand in a moment. So I'll be right back. All right. So here's what it looks like, pretty much. Yeah, pretend these are alveoli blocks. Just picture a few holes along there. So yeah, the purpose of, oh, well, there isn't one over there, but the purpose of these little grassy things here is basically to plant, you know, flowers, mushrooms, ferns, all the things that the bees would need to see as flowers, so that they can see it through those walls there. And, you know, the bees will spread more flowers to them, so they will look nice. And, you know, this takes up a lot of space for just 4 alveoles. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll extend these hallways. So this is sort of a modular design. I can make it as big as it needs to be. I'll extend these hallways in any direction. And what I'll just do is have like another alveoli that would start right here, and then just tile it with 5 spaces in between for each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well that's actually no more space efficient than this, but it is more space efficient than putting on another hole. Well, no, it's not. Okay, well that doesn't save me any space at all. Okay, well, never mind that. So yeah, this takes up a lot of space, but I decided to go for aesthetics a bit more than function. I could just pack a whole bunch of alveoles together in some sort of ugly structure, but I like this. I want something, you know, a bit prettier. Gotta fix that. That's bugging me. And you know, I want, I need my motivation for doing this instead of just staying in my yard here is mostly just automation, because I really need to get some automated centrifuging of combs going, because I have so many here. I've kind of stopped even clearing out these. Oh wow, building up a bunch of drones there. Let's see if our Stark bees are pure, just for fun. Yes, I have my beealizer on me. Come on, be pure. Stark. Awesome. So we can produce dull propolis now. So that's great. And then we can infuse those with different shards after making new princesses into them, and get other shards. So that is fantastic. But yeah, so it's going to be kind of a prettier building. Probably want to extend the snow one more block there. Yeah, could make something more functional and more compact, but I didn't. And yeah, I really want automation. We'll get the piping down below and some sort of power going, just so we can automatically centrifuge combs and put some kind of storage system in to deal with all the products. But anyway, so this has been a very... well, we got what we wanted to get done. And yeah, it's been kind of a long episode, but... yeah, just wanted to do something a little bit different. Next episode will probably be back to the normal formula. I have a few things stacked up that I'd like to do here. I haven't actually put them in the chest yet. That's for bee automation. So work in this building a little more, figure out what I'm doing with it. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.